Well, we missed that awesome joke because it hadn't started yet. But your stage name is Jessica. Now, so all right. So tell me your name again, and for our wonderful audience. And oh yeah, this is welcome to the Eric Tries Too Hard podcast. That isn't live, but we'll pretend it is, and I'll post this in a few weeks.
I thought it was gonna be live. I was gonna like pull a fucking stunt, and then it was gonna be on the internet forever.
Oh yeah. Well, technically we can. I just don't actually post it. But if you wanna, what stunt would you possibly pull? I'm very interested in this.
I don't know. I'm not wearing pants, so I might just whip my dick out and just start fucking my free camming all over your.
My free.
You ever go to that website, myfreecams.com?
No, but we used to play. Me and a bunch of friends of mine, we used to play chat. It was, I guess it would be chat roulette, where but we had over unders on how many dicks you'd see in 10 random chat connects. I guess it wasn't chat roulette. It was whatever the Omegle, whatever the video one was.
One time, yeah, I went on Omegle once when I was in this like huge dry spell. I wasn't getting laid for like a year and a half, and my porn and everything, it was just getting kind of weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
So I went on Omegle, and I was just sitting there with my dick out, and it was the worst. It was so sad. So I just turned off the camera, and I did this like sex chat thing with this person who said they were a girl, but they could have been a dude.
Yeah.
So
your name below on your chat things is Jessica. So for
I know.
all I know.
Yeah, my name is not Jessica. For all your
catfishing me right now, bro.
It would be a good catfish. You should see my girlfriend.
Wait, yeah, where is she back? Is she back there? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's actually a lovely woman. Anyway, yeah, my name is not Jessica. It's Brendan Sagalow. For anybody, where are you from, by the way?
I am from Baltimore. How about you?
I'm from Long Island, but I'm living in the city right now.
Oh, nice. I just finished a podcast with a comic from Long Island.
What's his name?
This is bad. That I don't, Steve Espinoza or Espinozo.
Oh,
you know that guy?
I think I might know him. It's hard to forget.
I would love if you're like he's a fucking hack and I hate him.
He probably is from Long Island. So,
dude, we were talking about city comedians versus Long Island comedians. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, it's I don't know why you would be a Long Island comedian. You're so close to the city. Just fucking come in and get some real work instead of. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, that's what he was saying. He was saying when certain shows were decent, and actually this would be a good compare. He was saying there are certain there's a company that basically runs all the Long Island ones, and when you're in with them and they give you a good show, it's great. But if you're gonna do open mics, you go to the city. Do you share that experience? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get booked at like Governors or what's the other one? It's escaping me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if you're going to get booked on real shows, then yeah, Long Island's pretty cool. But one time I went to a mic in Long Island because I was just coming through. I think I was like visiting some parents. Some parents. I was visiting your parents. And
you could. They're lovely people. Lovely people. Ken and Kristen would welcome you with open arms.
Ken and Kristen, nice. My parents' names are, I don't even want to say it. Hi and Teresa. Yeah. So
a lot of alliteration in our families. It's all good.
I know, it's fucking weird. So I went to Long Island to do a mic, and it was literally like 3 people were there, and they were all like you ever see a director watch a play that he wrote or something, and he's like mouthing what the actors are saying?
Are you?
That's what they were doing to everyone's set. So I just went up and I was like, okay, you guys are all fucking psychopaths.
Yeah, that's weird.
You need to either quit comedy or kill yourselves.
It's because they've seen this. It's because they've seen the same comics over and over.
Yeah, they're all the same guys. I mean, why wouldn't you just come into the city? There's thousands of mics here. That's why New York is great. You can go to like I just hit this fucking. You can go to like 12 mics a day.
You can swear. I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't even ask if I could.
No, it's great. We've been swearing all day. I don't really. Yeah. You started it, so I always go with the flow with whatever the guest is, but yeah.
Yeah, so like you could go to like 12 mics a day, and then you could do like 3 shows, and it's all different places. In Long Island, it's like you do 1 mic, and then you go home and you fucking slit your dick open and suck the blood out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's what you do. This is what you do there.
Yeah.
That's what I I always tell other band. I've been doing music stuff. I've never done comedy. I just love talk. I love stand up and I love talking to comics. So first off, thank you for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I love talking shop.
Nice. But yeah, like, but with music, I always tell other musicians that I know, it's if you're gonna really want to do it, you gotta move to somewhere that actually has a scene. You can't just expect to like live in your parents' basement and go out there and make a happening scene in your city. If your genre is blowing up a couple states over, you go and do that. Either that or you're not really trying.
Why wouldn't you? If that's what you really wanted. Like, I don't get the laziness of it. I mean, I'm lazy, but it's like, if something's going on and you want it that bad, you don't even think twice about it, I guess. Yeah. You know, you just you're like, oh, there's a mic all the way uptown, or I'm getting booked on a show all the way uptown, and then I gotta go, I gotta do this. I gotta do it. You don't just go, you know, it's fine. I don't want to. It'll come by. But there are some fucking hell shit. Like, I just went up to Binghamton because I got booked, and I went there, no show. 3 hours up, no show at all. Yeah, no show at all. The booker was away on family emergency, and then they were like, yeah, come back the 31st. And it was me, a feature, and a headliner, and we're just like, no, go fuck yourself. We are not coming back unless they pay well.
See, yeah. Well, the second money, I have $100. I'm there. Done.
Yeah. I'm a whore. No,
exactly. I was pretty much.
What was sad is I was getting like $100. If we're going back, we're getting more. I'm not.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's happened to me on tour, which isn't as bad when you're like a small band touring, because it's just like, it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, well, we were already going from North Carolina to Georgia. If our stopover in South Carolina doesn't work out, like, it's not the end of the world. It's not like we weren't going that way anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, with us, were you able to? Well, plus with bands, if you're on tour and something fucked up happens, you can go to pretty much any bar on the block that has a PA system and just go, hey, we got fucked, can we play here? And they'll usually give you free drinks and let you play.
That's great.
Are you able to, like, in shows like that, are you able to find an open mic, or is it not even worth it? Just be like, fuck
it's not
this.
Worth it.
You know?
If I'm on the road, I'm not gonna do an open mic. Like, I'm going out there to work. I'm going out there for work, for money. So, plus I was pissed. I mean, the guy who set it up was actually like a friend from high school. That was fucking red flag number one. But I
was gonna say it was your first red flag.
He seemed so sure. He was like, nah, man. He knew everybody's name. He had numbers. And then we call 15 minutes before we get there, and they're like, yeah, there's no comedy show tonight. So now we're like fucking bugging out. And he goes, oh, well, maybe we can set something. I'm like, you can't set up a last-minute comedy show. It has to be promoted. It has to be done like at least a couple days before. You can't. I mean, they said they were doing radio for it and all that stuff, and then nothing. So it was bullshit. It was a very rookie mistake. I should have called right before we even hit the road, but whatever.
Last summer I called some venue in North Carolina because it was like a one-off show, but it looked like a really good show. We were going to drive 6 hours, and I call and they're like, oh, they didn't tell you? The band that was going to headline broke up, and so we like filled a bunch of other shit.
They broke up?
Yeah. It was like 2 days before. Like, the fuck?
Oh my god, so they just canceled the show?
No, they booked other bands instead of that band and their other bands, and just never told us. Yeah.
What's your name of your band? What do you like play? What do you do?
I play. Hey, I'll ask the questions here. I fucking love talking about myself. That's perfectly fine.
I know.
I'm in a band called Heavyweights, and we're like your typical pop punk, but emphasis on the punk part.
Oh, that's awesome. Like 4 Year Strong or Day to Remember type of thing?
Well, yeah, it's not easy core per se. But, that's what they call that.
I didn't even know that had a name.
Yeah, easy core, because it's like super poppy with a chug chug chug.
I just looked at myself in the corner and I realized how fucking close my big stupid fat face is.
Oh, it's fine. I'll just take just the audio. But I might cut out a certain section of video just as like a little highlight thing. But
okay.
But yeah, I'll make sure to include that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
dude, I was looking at my. I was just looking at my. There's a little delay on the Hangout, which is why the talking over happens. But I was looking at myself when when I was doing the first podcast today, and I was like, I look okay today. I look okay today. Then I realized I got this stupid 2-day like stubble thing that looks like I want to have a beard, but I can't grow one. So I'm just like,
yeah, I've been growing this like V for Vendetta mask face for
it's nice.
Like, 3 months. This is 3 months. This is why I'm fucking.
Are you a fan of ball busting, sir?
I love ball busting.
Okay, well, you look more like V for.
I love that.
I can't do it.
It's okay to insult me.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
No, what were you gonna say?
A V for Velveeta.
V for Velveeta. I don't even get that. What is that? I'm a moron too, so I might not.
Oh, Velveeta is a fatty cheese.
Oh, geez, that's fucking great.
And you can hit me right back. I very much welcome it.
It's only if it's in the right. I feel like. Oh God, I almost just sounded like a douche. I feel like a ball busting.
Please sound like a douche.
I like ball busting when it's appropriate. I hate people that kind of force it. That are like some new comics will come in and try to bust your balls, and you're like, shut up, fucking loser. Like, get out of here, you idiot.
It's because they want to. I think that happens when, and you get that on Twitter a lot too. Like if you get like if there's ball busting on your podcast or in your stand up or whatever you put out there, you're gonna get people on Twitter trying to bust your balls because they're like, oh, that's gonna make that person respect me. But to you, it's just like, no, you're not doing what I do. You're just coming in here insulting me, which is why I asked you first.
There's like a booker to one of the clubs in the city who's just fucking. He tries to bust your balls and he's just like, it's me, and you're like, ugh, dude, fucking stop. Like I don't know. He'll say something to, I don't know. I got a what's a good example? Oh, after the whole Binghamton thing happened, this guy I'm like feeling really bad about myself, especially because I set up the show and I brought up the headliner and the feature, so I ruined their day too. And then I get a text from this guy like, "Nice job, loser," and I'm like, and like obviously he's trying to be funny, but I was like, I fucking slit my wrist that night. It was not really. I don't know why I said.
There's a lot of cutting your dick open, slitting your.
I know. I know.
What the fuck is happening?
I'm a horrible person. What's that picture behind you? What's that like sailing?
Yes.
Guy.
Finally, somebody noticed. So when I bought this house, this was we turned this basement into a guest room because at the time I was still in grad school, so I ended up getting a job, so we didn't need to have someone else like live here. We're gonna have somebody pay rent to make our mortgage. And my friend Pat, who's in the Navy, who is like for a housewarming present, he was my old roommate. He brought that pin up picture of him in a wife beater and a sailor cap flexing, and on it says.
I love that it's.
Yeah.
I love that it's like directly in front of your bed.
I didn't really mean to.
Rub one out before you go to sleep.
Exactly. Well, it says to Eric, welcome to the SS Beefcake, all hands on me. Love, Pat. But I put that in our guest room for people, like when we have family over, and I put it on the nightstand, and no one noticed for like 6 months. And eventually, we had my wife's parents spend the night, and they came up and they're like, what's that picture?
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
How do you not notice that?
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, that picture where it is now is an accident. I don't actually intend to have people see that. But you know what? It's okay. I'm glad that I noticed. That's good. Usually when I do podcasts I do this other video podcast with these people I do every week. And what I'll do is I'll look around their rooms when we're on the video thing and try to like fuck with them based on stuff that's in their room. So I appreciate that you put in extra effort.
Yeah, that's why I set it up right here. Couch, nothing. I'm not even wearing pants. I told you that, but that's why I'm keeping it at a fucking double chin level right now. If I went over, it wouldn't be pretty. But
dude, oh man. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Like 4 or 5 years. I kind of just stopped counting after a while because it gets fucking. I guess I shouldn't stop counting, but 4 or 5 years, I'm like a 5-year-old basically in comedy. You know what I mean? But
oh yeah, I've heard that theory. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like it's a good time right now because I have all my generation of my guys. Like I know all the guys that I'm going to be coming up with, and like we're going to be doing stuff, and I'm staying away from the guys that aren't doing shit. And
yeah,
and it's cool. I mean, they still got a lot to. I'm only 23, so
yeah.
people fucking hate me in comedy. They're
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say, like,
yeah, they don't hate me, but it's it's good. I
oh no,
started really early.
yeah, if you seem extremely comfortable. You seem like you have at least an essence of what your voice is. You're definitely you're making jokes. You're making jokes that are funny, but they're clearly not like written. Like you're combining that. I'm a funny guy and I can do it in an artistic manner, however you want to put it.
Oh my god!
Anyway,
I didn't know I was gonna be. So I didn't know my ego was gonna be lifted to that this morning.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now, here's the thing, though. No, I'm just kidding. I'd probably hate you too. I'd probably hate you too. I'm 28, and the fact that you're 23, yeah, the fact that you know that you have all that time left. And when you mentioned, I know the class of guys that I'm coming up with who are doing stuff. I spent many years, as far as music scene, first off, I didn't relocate, which is always, that's a sign that you're not really going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
But, like, finding the people who are actually putting forth the effort and actually doing things. I've met a lot of people who, I'm in a band, we're totally going to make it. We play a show every month, and I still live at home with my parents in a city that doesn't have a music scene. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But that's one thing. The one thing that I do envy about comedy scenes versus music scenes is, and you kind of hit it right on the head with the indirectly with the whole the group of guys you're coming up with. I think the thing I love about comedy the most is just having the group of comedians who hang out after the show, who all are in the same place doing the same thing, and just all working their asses off separately but helping each other out, and kind of like that whole camaraderie is something that I really admire.
Yeah, it really is the best, man. Like going to a diner till like 4 a.m. or whenever the sun comes up and just fucking around, busting each other's balls, talking comedy. It's the best. It really is. Like I don't know who the fuck I was hanging out with before I got into comedy, but the comedian friends are just the best. They really are.
Yeah. That's what I remember. At one point, I was like a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago, I was like, I think I want to be a stand-up. And then 3 months later, I was like, I just want to talk to comedians. Like, I should probably do a podcast.
Yeah, this is fucking great. How many comedians have you talked to so far?
You're number 5. I did a. Yeah. Huh?
Anybody in the city? Anybody I know? Is this interesting? I feel like I'm not interesting at all.
That's good. The less you actually put it, this is what I've noticed for guests, the less they put into, thinking about if they're, sorry, I have an echo in my ear, so it's distracting me. The more someone I have on, more a comedian tries to be funny when I have them on, the less it works. The more like a band tries to sound like rock stars, the worse it is. It's almost like the less you care, the less you put into the podcast, the better it ends up coming, because it turns into a real conversation. It's like, the writing from stage philosophy.
Yeah.
It's like that. If you come in prepared with topics and prepared with X, Y, and Z, it comes off as unnatural. And if you're an incredible writer, it works out great. But I'm not an incredible writer, and this is just a fucking podcast. So
I'm not a big writer either. Like I kind of do bullet points type of thing. Like I'll write down like an idea, and then I'll maybe do a little bullet point of I want to get to this, or like I try to. But I write from stage, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, I go up and I'll fucking try to fling some shit. A lot of the time, it'll be a train wreck. But it's like a funny train wreck. Like, I've been told people like when it's even
they
when
like
I bomb,
when you're funny when you
even
bomb.
when I bomb, I'm funny. So it's
that's the little Carson thing. It's like it's not as important being funny when you're funny. It's important to be funny when you're bombing.
Yeah. Because it could be a real fucking pain in the dick, honestly.
Now, do you we call that a Long Island pain in the dick.
Okay.
I can't get that visual out of my head. You're Long Island. You go home and you slit your dick.
I slit my dick open and I suck the blood out.
Yeah. I forgot sucking the blood out. That's correct. That visual escaped me somehow. Fuck. I don't even care what I was gonna say. No. I know what it was. So when you're talking about coming out and specifically when you're writing from stage and trying out a lot of new stuff, are those in typically 5-minute spots, or how much time are you on stage for those?
a guest spot in the city is 10 minutes.
Okay.
So if you're doing a guest spot at a club and you're not getting paid, it's normally 10 minutes. Usually get paid when you do 15. So I don't like going to the clubs during real shows and testing out a whole new 10. I like to, I don't want to ruin their time by me being a dick and like testing out new material. Even though a lot of people do it, I just don't feel very comfortable. I mix it in. I like, okay, I'm going to do my shit that I know that works, and then I'm going to like sprinkle in some new stuff, some new tags, whatever I need to do, and especially if it's a 15-minute spot, because if I'm getting paid, I don't want to fuck them over. So usually during the 10, I'll do like 5 or 6 of like the stuff I know that works, and then try to sprinkle some of my new shit in. And
that's cool. Yeah. I always wonder how people with 5-minute spots work on new shit if they already have established stuff. Because I can't imagine just trying to like go 50% of my set to figure out. Like
I couldn't even imagine doing 5 minutes in front of like a big crowd, and you're like, why am I even here? Just give an extra 5 minutes to another person. Why are you doing this?
And that's such a great I guess attitude to take, but also I feel like that's really common in comedy. In music, the spots are so few and far between for a lot of bands that it's just like you're just like, give me any time I can get on stage, like any amount of time.
Yeah.
Like fuck everybody else. I'll take 5 minutes. I'll do 2 songs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like the difference is with like music, you can play. If you get 5 minutes, you can play like a 2-minute song or whatever, a 3-minute song, and then you're like, yeah, fucking this is great. But in comedy, it's like, okay, I gotta get into my shit right now. That's usually open mics are 5 minutes, and that's where you get to just go up and be like, all right, let's see if anything I'm trying works. It's usually one topic. I don't even get 5 minutes. It's nuts. That's why even 10 minutes. Like you hear people like Burr and like Schumer and everything. If somebody asks them to do 10 minutes, they're like, I don't know how to do that shit.
By the way, the is the perfect Bill Burr impression.
Yeah, that's like Burr or Norton.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Norton's more like, dummy.
Wow, that's a fantastic impression. I don't know if you can do more on that, but that's a fantastic impression.
I love doing impressions of comics. It's a lot of fun. Like, especially when they're your friends. It's so great. You just get to pick on them with their stupid own voice. It's great. I love it.
Have you like been able to meet or interact with any like particularly well-known comedians?
Yeah, I mean, I hosted a show the other, like 2 weeks ago, with Artie Lang, Godfrey, who else was there? Oh, Judah Friedlander. It was a great show too.
Oh my God.
And it was just like, and I'm such a like obvious what's the word, like fanboy? I don't know, maybe I was like a little
me too.
girl.
I'm about to tear up hearing these words.
And you can't really be a fan. You can't like be too much of a fan around the guys that you're actually a fan of. You can't be like, oh my God, I saw this guy take a picture with who was it? It was like 2 nights ago. My God, I smoked too much weed. My fucking brain is killing me.
That can happen.
Yeah. Oh fuck, I forgot who it was, but it was like a really well-known comic, and it was and like a lower comic, like just starting out, was like, oh, can I take a picture? And I was just like, oh, that's gross, dude. Don't do that. You gotta be like, hey, yeah, cool, man, cool. You can't be, I'm dying inside because you're talking to me, type of thing.
The guy who mastered my band's latest record is actually, like, he did that almost as a favor to us, but he was like, he does much bigger records. Like, he's produced a lot of, like, gold and platinum selling records. Yeah. He has a phrase that he used on his podcast where he said, he was like, you got to be able to hang. Like, when you meet bigger musicians.
Oh, yeah,
like,
100%.
You got to hang. Don't, like, get compartmentalized into fan or musician. Yeah. Be a musician who can hang. Mm. And there was some friends of mine who I've actually had on the podcast before. I don't know if they're friends anymore. They big-leagued the shit out of me. They wouldn't give me an advanced copy of their record. Like, we've known each other for years. We came up to fuck that. Big-league me. Oh, yeah. And but they played a show opening up for All Time Low for, in the pop-punk world, that's one of the biggest bands you can open for. And they were backstage. They posted all these pictures of them just begging for pictures of them with the band. And all our other producer friends were kind of just like, oh man, you know those guys are never going to talk to you again. Like you just blew your shot because you fanboyed it.
I feel like there is a certain way to do that. Like if you want to get a picture, I get I get that, and especially you know what's great if you're opening for the person. Like I have buddies who are opening for Carlos Mencia now. They're all taking pictures with it. It makes sense. Yeah. Like if you're like, hey man, can we get a picture? This is a something. What's that? I'm a fucking retard.
Were you gonna say Cornerstone?
I was gonna say Cornerstone. Is that what I'm thinking about? What am I thinking about?
I don't know.
It's a god. Anybody listening to your podcast definitely fucking checked out at 5 minutes. Soon as they were like, this guy's a fucking retard.
See, here's the thing. Here's why I'm so impressed with the Reddit stand-up community, because I got so many of you guys to go on this podcast, and I didn't even put a link up of what the podcast is. I was like so impressed that no one was like, no, I don't give a fuck, let's do it. But if you ever actually hear this podcast, my listeners, it's exclusively people who want to hear complete bullshit. Like whether it's an interview I've done or specifically when I just talk to myself for an hour and it's pure nonsense. So anytime, like whenever I have a guest or myself, I'm like, no one's going to listen to this. That means everyone who listens to it is going to. They're gonna, like, eat
that's
the
great.
shit
That's a great fan base. People that are like,
it's
yeah. I guess.
There's only between 30 and 75 of them. They like it.
Oh wow, well, fucking that's pretty sweet. I love doing podcasts. I any chance to get me to talk and be fucking retarded and it be recorded forever, I'm totally down for it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're probably talking about something.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Insecurities. And no.
Yeah. Well, I'm always talking about insecurities. Obviously, everything I'm always saying is just.
I wanted to ask. So did you grow up in Long Island?
Yeah.
Dude, you have this fucking Pennsylvania accent.
Really?
Which is you on the A's. It's very specific.
Oh,
it's on the
A's. Like my A's are very like I don't know what it is.
Well, I call it the Pennsylvania accent because it's not full Philly. It's not full Philly. And it's not full Baltimore, but it's like a combination of the two of them. And my wife's family, like my wife grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, right in between the two. And everyone from her hometown has the Aya, and that's it.
That's so weird. I feel like I have that, but I also have that like Long Island. Like when I say long, it's like
I hear that. Yeah.
Like gross, like island, or I'll say I get this. People shit on me a lot for this. I'll go, the clothes are in the drawer. They're like the drawer. Yeah. You fucking moron. But then I feel like when I say stuff like penis, it like comes out like that, penis.
Penis.
I don't know why.
Dude, we just have water. Yeah, I know. I don't say water. I'm not a fucking idiot. It's water. Dude, one time my wife and I were in some store, and she was like, I don't know if we should get those. I heard that they're bad. And I was like, oh, they're bad?
Bad.
It's not bad. It's bad. I was like, no, it's bad. It's
bad.
It's just...
Yeah, I feel like I kind of sound like that too. Bad.
Yep.
Wow. Fucking Jesus. First you were getting my ego up, and now I'm gonna be like standing in front of a mirror for like 20 minutes after this going, bad.
Are you gonna at least put pants on, or are you just gonna?
No, I'm not wearing pants all day.
Not today, dude. That's enough. Yeah. So, do you have like a real job to supplement your comedy?
I walk dogs.
Yeah.
That's like the best thing. It's a lot of comics who have day jobs. I feel like everybody. How could you work in an office? I don't get it. I can really do it. I walk dogs in Hoboken, New Jersey, and I know guys that like deliver for Amazon or people that I have a buddy who's a tennis instructor, which is hilarious. It's the day job kind of fucking sucks. You don't want to have to deal with that shit.
See, I worked like back when I was still like going. I guess like a year ago I stopped going full time trying to do music stuff and just started focusing on podcasts and then doing music for fun. But like when I first got out of I graduated undergrad early and then just toured as long as I could until I had no money and no food and was living out of my car and eventually got a job. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was great. Good like 6 to 9 months or whatever. Plus in college touring is the easiest fucking thing because you always have that home base to go back to. But like my first 2 years or 2.5 years out of college, I worked at this mental health place. And eventually, like a couple months in, I got promoted to a glorified desk job. So I was just working in a small office with a lot of privacy and not a lot of work to do. And that was a time I got so much like writing done and like so as long as you're doing something where it's like I imagine like if I were doing this now, like if I were doing a podcast or trying to write whatever, I think I wrote a bunch of like articles that got published but never got like promoted from cracked.com.
Okay.
Like just for fun, because I'm sitting there in front of a desk with nothing to do. And so all I could think of was like, man, if I was like a screenwriter or something, I would have so much time. I'd be getting paid to do my hobby.
You love. I know a lot of people who are doing like they'll write for like humor magazine website things, and they're making good money, and I'm like, I gotta get the fuck on that. Like I have a lot of friends who work for like Elite Daily and all that stuff, and they all do videos for them and stuff, and I just got to get on that shit. Yeah.
I have people I know who through other avenues that I do like music promotion stuff, like where I do the business side of it. There's a lot of people I know who are in like they write reviews for bands and stuff, and they also write but they'll also like I know a few people who work for BuzzFeed. And all I can think of is like, but it's like it became their end-all be-all job. Yeah. And to me, I'm still just like, I get your writing and that's what you want to do for a living and you're doing it and you're making good money. But like, that would be like if I took a job in like a well-paying Nickelback cover band. Like I can't imagine, like that's not enjoying to me. Like that's not why I got in this. I might as well be working in an office.
I know. I feel like there's that with everything. There's that feeling of like, I don't want to do this. I'm selling out for the money. But you know, BuzzFeed has a lot of shows, but I hear their crowd because it's usually like the people that work for them. I hear that they like fucking blow.
Oh, really? I was going to say, I could totally see if those same people working for BuzzFeed were going out and doing stand-up at night or working on, like, a pilot on their spare time, then I get that. But if that's just what your job is, I can't imagine.
All there. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that either. But I would love to. I mean, that shit's just the least amount of work I have to do, that's what I want to do. I would love to just not have to do anything.
Dude, it's so hard, though, because just to make it in any kind of art field, you have to work way harder than anybody else who makes it in, like, a normal field.
Yeah, you definitely got to work really hard. But, you know, there's, like, this thing in comedy where people think it's, like, so competitive, but it's really not, because we're always going to need comedians. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their own little pie. You know what I mean? Like, you're not all picking from one pie, and then someone's not going to get a slice. We all have our own pies. So it's like, I don't even know why I brought that up or what the point of that was. But
I don't know, but I want some pie right now.
I know. That made me want like pie. I don't even like pie. I don't like any type of pie.
What the fuck is up with that? I like some pies,
weird?
But
yeah. No.
I
don't like apple pie. I don't like cherry pie or...
Yeah, me either. None of that fruit bullshit.
Cherry pie? I don't even know. Okay.
All right, give me a pumpkin pie, maybe like a key lime pie. I can do that, but I can't do that. I can't do
nothing. Don't like pumpkin pie. I like pumpkin flavored stuff because I'm a white person.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you're wearing no pants, but you got Ugg boots on, right?
Yeah, how can you tell? Purple.
I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, so tell, like, outside of just doing stand-up, I shouldn't say the word just there. Outside of doing stand-up,
just doing stand-up.
What other, do you have any other comedy pursuits that you're doing?
Well, yeah, I make little videos. I did Vine for a while, but I was like, this is stupid. I gotta, like, I don't know, I'm very like closed-minded with all that stuff that I gotta get open with, but I make like little videos and stuff, and I'm about to write a blog. If that is that like 2003? I feel like blogs are not in anymore now because podcasts.
I think it's because like there are enough mediums now that like a blog is too long for, especially if we're talking comedy, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's like because I guess I tried to do a music blog a couple of years ago. I just, like, enrolled it in, like, marketing it with my band, and so I'd like, oh, that'll be maybe an extra reason people will go to our band site to check out the blogs. But it's like, if the crowd who wants something longer, or take the time, because reading obviously takes more time than listening or watching, especially for me, because I'm the slowest reader in the world. But like, it's if you want like the group that wants things longer like that is the group that's listening to podcasts because they like that medium better.
Yeah.
And the group that wants things shorter is just going to Twitter to grab a joke.
Yeah,
Or maybe Reddit to grab a joke. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like now that podcasting out, the to not read, people will take it. Like nobody's gonna read blogs anymore. Nobody's gonna do that shit. So I'm probably not gonna do that. But I had a podcast for like a year and a half with my buddy, but he went out to LA, so now that's over. It was called Random Occurrences. It was cool. It was about like meeting a bunch of comics and musicians. It's basically your podcast.
Yeah. Except mine has my name in the title because that's clearly the focus. But
yeah, it actually had the other guy's name in the title. I was kind of like I came in halfway through as like a just like Cobe, whatever. But it was a lot of fun, man.
So I want to know what so we're gonna wrap up the next like 5 minutes. But I definitely want to know what your take is, or no, what got you into comedy? Not necessarily doing comedy, just like stand-up in general. What really, like, what was that moment for you where you were just like, I love, whatever this is, I love this?
Well, it came like, it was weird. It came like very slowly. Like, when I was younger, in middle school, high school, I listened to tons of comedy records. I actually was in a band. In high school, I wanted to be in this like Green Day type punk band, but I loved comedy. And also in middle school, I wanted to be a rapper. So
I have 3 rap CDs that I made on iTunes.
Oh no! Burn them. Get rid of them. You don't want anybody finding that.
I'll post them anywhere. I don't give a shit.
And then when I graduated high school, this is gonna sound really corny for anybody who's whatever, but I watched that movie Funny People. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, I've seen that
movie. And I fucking loved that movie. They were like the fact that they captured like the club scene so well. I just wanted to. I was like, oh, I want to be in that world right now. And that's that. And I was watching a Patton Oswalt special, and I was like, I want to do this.
Which special?
I don't know. I think it was one where.
Do you remember any of the bits from it? I'll tell you exactly which one.
He was wearing a brown coat, brown like blazer. I think he was wearing a suit. I'm not sure.
I don't remember what the fuck he's wearing.
This was a while ago, but I was like, oh, I want to do this. Because I was really, I was going nowhere fast. I was in Long Island, and I was just...
How old were you?
18, 19. And I just was doing a lot of drugs and hanging out with a lot of people also on drugs and going nowhere. Like, people would be glad if they were like, I got a job at a gas station. Yeah, we're going to be living it. And I'm like, I have to get out of this right now. This is the worst.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome. Yeah.
That's kind of
I always was obsessed with comedy, but I'm partially because like my parents used to have me watch Seinfeld when I was way too young to watch Seinfeld.
Did you get it at that point?
I forget. I might have even told this story on the podcast before, but I'd rather just tell it to you anyway. I don't give a shit. I remember one day distinctly, I was maybe been like 9 years old, bouncing like one of those Super Balls in my room, and just pondering life and thinking, what the hell is a menage a trois? Like trying to use context clues based on the episode, and just couldn't figure it out.
That's hilarious.
And then when I was a little kid and like in first, second grade, whatever it was, when they'd say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And everyone's like an athlete or a movie star or a fireman. I always said stand-up comic because Jerry Seinfeld was a stand-up comic. And all I knew was something about what that is amazing.
You should have became a comic, man.
I kind of, but I feel like I always wanted music. My love for music always surpassed it until like a year ago. Like something just happened all of a sudden. And it was
really?
Like, yeah, I think it was because I had a band that finally got success, and all of a sudden I realized it wasn't what I expected it to be. I was like,
really?
Fuck. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The lifestyle, I just didn't want it anymore. It was kind of shitty. But anyway, no, I mean, well, so like, and then seeing that movie Comedian was just nuts. But yeah, like, but no, Funny People, I totally get that, and why you would see that. That's a great intro to like what the life is outside of just the specials. Because most people just see comedy, it's the specials.
It was just so, like, gritty. I've always had, like, a soft kind of heart for punk living, punk kind of life. And I just, like, saw it. No, it's
sorry.
cool.
You're saying, yeah.
You should put that. You should put it down. Actually, you should get rid of that.
Probably. She'd want it that way.
Make it listen to your rap albums, and then it'll die.
Oh, dude, all my rap albums. I didn't catch what you said. That's amazing.
There you go. Okay.
All my rap albums were about punk stuff. I was like, yeah,
really?
anti-Bush. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was always into, like, the punky type of lifestyle, that gritty kind of rawness, and
that was my high school experience, was going to the squat houses in Baltimore and, like, going to these shows next to crack houses and hanging out with people shooting up and stuff.
Oh, my God, that's horrible. That's the worst.
It was a great life. We were rocking against Bush.
Awesome.
We're having a hell of a time.
Punk rock, yeah. It's very punk rock.
All right, that's awesome. Well, so can you give us any of your plugs, where we can find you, your Twitter, all that stuff, and then can you hit me back up on Reddit and send me links to all those so when I put up the episode I can throw those in?
Yeah, definitely. You can go to my website, BrendanSagalow.com or Brendan Sagalow Comedy, because I bought both of them because I'm a fucking thinker.
You're an entrepreneur.
But it actually, I'm using Squarespace, and I'm just trying to, like, change the domains right now, so it's like, it's been a fucking problem for 2 weeks. I've been trying to switch, because I was using a different one, and now I have to go to Squarespace, but I still had bought the rights to Brendan Sagalow, BrendanSagalowComedy.com, so right now my website is like
Squarespace is a sponsor for this episode.
Oh, really?
I
was going to be like, what the fuck? Tell them. Yeah, but so right now, I mean, in the next couple of days, my website should be up with all my dates and stuff, but you can just go to Twitter and at Brendan Sagalow, and just fucking follow me, I guess. Or I like Facebook. My favorite thing is Facebook. Join Facebook and follow me or whatever. And but for now, yeah, I'll send you my website once it's up and all that stuff.
All right, man. Awesome. All right, well, thanks so much for doing this. I had a great time talking to you. Seriously, this was a lot of fun.
I hope was I bad? Is this bad right now?
You were fantastic. I'm like bummed that I don't live there, so we can't be friends. You're a lot of fun.
I know. The internet.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Well, we'll keep in touch, and I will catch you later, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Thanks for this. Thank you.
Absolutely.